What is going on, guys? In tonight's video, I want to go ahead and just talk about the new Mark 8s 2022 and the different trims available for this generation. I've been looking at the Mark 8s, not really interested in buying as of yet, but very interested in seeing what's standard and all the new features that are out that made the cut. There are some disappointing features from the Mark 7 that didn't make the cut, but that is from my last previous video. If you have a chance to go ahead and check it out. But I want to just go ahead and just talk about the MSRP for this year's or this generation, starting at the S trim, which is a bare bones base model. Long story short, it is really not bare bones. It's really well equipped. So the spoiler alert from here. But the new Mark 8 starts at $29,545, and that is without the DSG. All right, a DSG will cost an additional $800 versus, from my understanding, or if my memory serves me correct, the DSG used to be like $1,000 or $1,100 upgrade. Now for this year, it's a $800 upgrade, I believe. Moving on, I want to go ahead and just talk about the colors. I'll touch up briefly on the colors, but as we all know, the main colors are coming back. They have like the blacks, the silvers. The deep black pearl is coming back, making a return. It's pretty consistent throughout the previous generation, starting from the Mark 6, I believe, all the way to the Mark 7, and made his return in the Mark 8. The reflex silver is coming back from the Mark 7, I believe. And new colors that are coming out: the Moonstone Gray, the King's Red Metallic. The Moonstone Gray is kind of like your Nardo Gray, but kind of like a darker, flat grayish. A lot of these companies are doing this type of color right now. King's Red Metallic was going to be a duller color, but more metallic flake than the Tornado Red, which is more vibrant red. But the Tornado Red is more of a flatter color. And Atlantic Blue is doing a replacement from the previous years. And I'm going to go ahead and just get I think it's like a nightshade blue. Let's see, the actual color is night blue metallic from the 2019 Mark 7s. The Mark 8 GTI is now getting the Oryx white pearl, and that is the more pearlescent white color. Not as vibrant or not as bright white as a pure white, but it's not as flat paint as the pure white color. So in my opinion, my preference, I do like the Oryx white pearl as well. So the GTI in this color looks very clean. The more controversial color is the Pomelo Yellow. That color is exclusive to the Autobahn. If you want that color, you have to go ahead and get top of the line trim GTI. According to this order guide right here that I have in front of me, the Autobahn is limited to only 700 units. Now, based on this, each dealership in the US or in North America is only going to get one or two maximum, so it should be a pretty limited color. And limited colors like this will go ahead and grant you a higher markup. All these colors, King's Red Metallic, Oryx White Pearl, the Pomelo Yellow, and the Moonstone Gray, will go ahead and ask for an additional $395 charge, for a surcharge of $400. Now, that is aside from the colors. I'm going to go ahead and just move on to other things such as the standard features. I'm not going to go ahead and talk about the whole standard feature list. You guys could go and do a freeze frame of everything that I have up here. But due to the increase in price at $29,545 for the S models, it's pretty impressive. You're getting all the performance features. You don't have to get a performance pack like the previous generation to get your upgraded brakes, to get your LSD, your LED headlights. Back in the Mark 7 days, it was still halogens. I think in the Mark 7.5, that's when they started giving LEDs throughout. But actually, just fact check me on that. But it comes with a leather wrapped steering wheel, and you also heated multi-function steering wheel with the haptic feedback. I think in the Mark 7.5 Golf Rs, that's when they introduced the first digital cluster or the digital cockpit. Now in the Mark 8, it's throughout. So it's starting from the S trim, that's pretty much standard. The only thing that they're not giving you right here is, I believe, the premium sound system. Sound system is going to be 7-speaker sound system versus the Harman Kardon that is going to be offered in the SE trim and up. So they're replacing the Fender with the Harman Kardon. It will have a subwoofer, but the S trim will not have a subwoofer. You get wireless charging, but not wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. All right. The seats are going to be a new plaid pattern. Sorry. This is going to be the scale paper plaid versus the Clark plaid in the previous generations. It's missing the navigation, which is understandable, and it's missing the 10-inch Discover Pro that's available. All right, and one last thing that I want to go ahead and just mention, the fact that they don't have in the S, is the Kessie system. Now the Kessie system is going to be a bummer to offer it without. Just like the ventilated seats, it's something that you will miss when you are downgrading from a car that has one, but it's also something that you won't know or you won't miss if you never had it. So just keep that in mind. Volkswagen also giving you the IQ Drive, meaning their safety suite of features in competition with other companies, especially like Honda Sense, especially like Toyota, all those mainstream car manufacturers. They're doing all these safety tech as standard. So if you have the DSG model, you're gonna have all this, including the adaptive cruise control and your auto stop and go. That's gonna be standard throughout. Now moving along to the SC trim, again, I'm not going to go through every feature that the SC trim is going to include, but the most notable is your navigation, your sunroof, all right, and your adaptive AFS, meaning the adaptive front lighting system, where it swivels when you turn, has hexagonal fog lights that will also function as cornering lights as well, depending on which direction that you're turning. So that's a plus. And also your signature GTI LED light bar that is exclusive to or that's new to the new Mark 8 generation. So starting from there, you're getting all this in the SE trim and above. One thing that I want to just touch up on is the fact that the SE trim will come standard only with the plaid seats. Now, in the SE trim, if you're getting a leather seating package, which is offered right here, I'm going to go ahead and just pull up this section right here. It's additional $1,225. So for the additional $1,200, you're getting the softer, more plush Vienna leather. You're getting the perforations in the leather seats, which gives you the ventilated seat option, which is really great. Once you have that during a hot summer's day, especially when you have your car parked under a hot sun, and you want to dissipate all the hot air, open your moonroof, open all 4 windows, but your seats are still hot. This solves the problem. And that including the power adjustable 3-position memory seats, 12-way adjustable. I'm sorry. It's gonna cost you the additional $1,200. But if you're getting an SC trim, I just don't think you should be getting it in the SC trim. Why? Because for $1,200, you're almost there, paying Autobahn pricing. So why not go ahead and just go straight for the Autobahn? That's just my opinion. But this comment is before any type of market adjustment is put into discussion. Now, for $3,700, if I'm doing my math correctly, that is the additional price that you have to pay above the SE trim to go and achieve the Autobahn trim. Now, for the Autobahn trim for $3,700 extra, you're getting heated rear seats, you're getting 3-zone climate control, which gives you the ability to set your individual climate control, driver and passenger, and also your rear passenger. It's giving you your heads-up display, and also your summer tire setup, the 19-inch Adelaide rim design, and also your summer performance tires. So it's going, I think it's 235s, right? And you get your park assist, which is basically helping you parallel park or back up against a spot. But most importantly, your DCC. Now, again, I spoke about it in the DCC in my previous videos. Again, maybe I'll include it in the link before. Why DCC makes your GTI, makes your Golf R an even better daily driver. So the DCC, especially in your city, especially if you're in rougher roads, rougher patches, the dynamic chassis control, it basically dampens your suspension and gives you a much more plusher, more comfortable ride. However, if you put it into race mode or whatever, Autobahn mode, etc., in the newer Mark 8 generations, I'm assuming it's going to function the same. It's going to stiffen up your handling, it's going to stiffen up your suspension, and if you have, I don't know, on the way home, if you're not stuck in rush hour, give you that type of driving feel, the driving dynamics, and also especially during a weekend, as a weekend warrior, you're going to go ahead and go up to the mountains, and DCC is perfect for this type of all-arounder. But overall, I think it also kind of protects you from a steep depreciation hit, or it protects you from resale, it increases your trade-in value, etc. And that, along with $37 on top of your car payment, on average $30 I don't know, like 60 months, right? 5 years on average, right? So 3,700, you split that by 60 months. That's going to put you up into almost $62 extra on top of your car payment. In order to go ahead and get the Pomelo yellow color, you have to go and just get an Autobahn. And we mentioned that previously in this earlier video. Now, the Pomelo yellow color is very nice. I think it's a very striking color in person. I think with all the talk and about the haptics, the next thing that was controversial was the color itself. So this exclusive Autobahn color is again limited to the 700 units according to the spec sheets, according to the forums. Now, once you see it in person, you might want to go ahead and I won't blame you, because for me, my mind was changed. As soon as I saw it, it stuck out right there in the middle of the dealership. It's very eye-catching, very nice. It grabs your attention, and if you don't want the attention, then you can stay away from it. There's plenty of other colors in the palette for the Autobahn. But if you want that, then you have to go Autobahn. As we're talking about this exclusive color, I want to touch up on, or kind of focus on, the market adjustment right now. I was at the Subaru dealership the other day, and I saw a Forester, 45,000. I think I'm gonna pull up the picture right now. 45,000 for a Forester. Market it's crazy right now. MSRP versus MSRP. If you're getting SE trim with the leather package, no brainer to get the Autobahn. Again, that's my opinion. But if you have an Autobahn that you're looking at and also SE trim, but somehow the dealership is charging a crazy markup for this particular color, then you might save, it might not be worth it to pick up the Autobahn. It really depends on the buyer and how much you want the color. In terms of the trims, what I find the most enticing, in my opinion, if you want to kind of just go bare bones, I don't think you could go wrong by going for the S. The Mark 7 went without the light bar. The Mark 7 went without all these hexagonal LED fog lights type of design. If I were to choose my personal one, I would actually just go for Autobahn because of the fact that it's a 2022 car. Why not just go ahead and go fully and keep up with the times? But that's another issue in its own, because if you go for Autobahn for a GTI, why not pay for a Golf R, right? I'm gonna end it at that. Thank you guys for watching and sticking with me. I hope this was very informative to most of you who are deciding. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.